or Haryana Urban Development Authority. He has also worked at Ramjit Malani's chamber. And the topic which we have taken for this session today is how to get the best of internships and job. The point of discussion for today's session are how to start looking for internship, how to identify life goals, why it is important to identify a mentor, how to get jobs from an internship. All the topics which are very, very relevant to law students when they are in their law school and once they also start doing their job to identify life goals. And who better can be the youngest standing counsel or 𝘭𝘰𝘰𝘬𝘪𝘯𝘨. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Harsh, and I'm thankful to LawSikho for assigning and inviting me as a panelist for this topic. Because even yesterday we both saw that there was a post from a very young girl, namely Mahima. I guess if I'm not right or wrong. So Mahima, the post, if I can mention to all the participants right now, is that she said that she was set by a top law firm, the tier 1 law firm, that to wait for 15 months to get an internship. I mean, that's more of a point of a time that you can get a job at a tier 1 law firm, I would say. So starting with the very basic, that it is very difficult to, sometimes examine your dreams, but it is, on the other hand, is the most important decision you take in your life. Okay, so if you are a first year student or a second year or you are in final year, it's very important, you decide at what you want to do in your life. Some people go with the NGO internship, so they start doing something for social work. That's very good, but at least you should have a goal. Like if you want to go into that, sector of your life, you can go. There is no problem. But the fast you decide that I want to be a lawyer, I want to practice in Supreme Court, that's going to be my aim after I do my law school, after I go through my law school, or after you are done with your masters, if that's my dream is, or you want to be a professor, or you want to be a judge, or you want to work as a corporate associate under some big shot law firm. So you need to identify it in the first year, I would say. In 3-year law, that has to be the first year, but in 5-year law, you can take 1 or 2 years because your age is almost 16, 17 or 18 in the very first year. So starting with the dream, like if you choose you want to be a lawyer, what should be the first step you should do? First, you should be very good with mooting. You should start doing as much moot courts as possibly can. And later on, you should start finding the internships from the very first year. If you don't have any kind of contact, which usually people say that you should start with the contacts, then you should just go to your trial court. Like if you are from Kanpur, you should start going to the district court Kanpur. If you are from Bangalore, district court Bangalore, and you should just start visiting courts. Trust me, people do appreciate the fact that when you go to a court without any, known person, and you just keep on talking to some of the people, I would say. And more importantly, it is very important to identify what you have as your pros and what's not. What is not good in your favor, what is bad in your favor, what is your weakness, what is your strength. Like, in our profession, and I'm a lawyer, so in our profession, everyone has succeeded. A person from a very rich background has succeeded, and a person from a very poor background has also succeeded. But what success means to a person is totally different. There are almost like thousands of people who are doing law right now. Everyone has their own different way of success. There is no single way. Like if I can say that this is the right way to, get an internship, that's not totally true. But I can identify some of the ways according to, the needs. If someone wants to go to the law firm, like if someone wants to aim at a tier 1 law firm, how he should go it. You can't do it in the first year unless and until you know a partner directly. That's for sure. That's a hard written fact. Like you should totally acknowledge it. You should imbibe it totally. Like if you want to be in a tier 1 law firm, you cannot be in the very first year. But so far as being with the top lawyer is concerned, I would say that you start with being a trial court lawyer in the first year, then ask the same lawyer to get you a recommendation, and he can recommend you to some other, lawyer who is good than him or something, who has a better name. And this is the way you be at the top law firm, top lawyer in Supreme Court or in High Court or wherever you want to practice. I would say if you have an exact dream, like I want to be a lawyer in Punjab and Haryana High Court or in Delhi High Court, you should start interning with the same High Court and just intern all the 10 semesters in the same High Court. And first year, suppose you are working with a person who is also a young counsel. He has like 4 or 5 years of practice. He is some standing counsel or a panelist, or he has his own criminal or civil practice. In the very first year, you should not think like first or second year. You should just directly go and, start working with him, learn as much as he can teach you. And later on, you can ask the same person to recommend you to some other law firm. That's like something, which people don't usually do. They start enjoying with their friends and all when they are at internships, because internships usually is a burden for a lawyer. I must confess to it. But more than people learn, it is also a, burden on a lawyer who is engaging 5 or 6 interns, because he has to take care, like no one is feeling something bad about that office, and he's comfortable and he's getting sufficient work that he can do. And if you are into someone who is having a very good name, like the top lawyer in Delhi, and you are his intern, you can, like, I don't know if you can learn everything in the very first or second year, but you can learn a lot from him. Still, I would say. So for lawyers, I would say, if you want to be a lawyer, your dream should be to just do an internship under the best lawyers in the country. And when you are in 5th year or in 4th year, you can just show your intent by saying, sir, I wish to work with you as well. And I'm 100% sure that he's gonna give you as much work as he can, and he will take you as an associate if you have done well, provided that you have done well. If you have not done well, you have done time pass and you have not been to the mark, you don't require any of the recommendation. Like, people often ask me how I reached Mr. Jethmalani's office and all. So I usually tell them, like, on some sense, that my father just called Mr. Jethmalani and he just took me. That was not in reality, but what in reality happens is that in my 2nd year, I went to Supreme Court to a known person, Dr. Adish Chandra Agarwal. And somehow with him, I worked very hard, like for 2 months. There was a conference, we organized it, in which we called some various big shots from throughout the country. And one of the participants was Mr. Jethmalani. And I still remember when I talked to him for the first time, like that was my dream since my childhood, to work under him. So when we invited him to that conference, like I remember I was sitting on my chair and I stood up, and out of respect, I talked like as much be respectful I could have been. So with that, I literally replied, and then I went to his office, and some of the manager and the personal secretary of Mr. Jethmalani asked me how many times I applied, and I told them I applied for that internship 71 times. So they never believed me. So they searched the inbox of Mr. Jethmalani's Gmail, and it was 73 instead. So I counted 2 less. And that's with, I guess, this is what you require, like mailing after every month or 2 months, like stating that you can only intern in July or January, because in June the courts are usually off, and even in December in North India it's off. So you need to recognize that there is a huge competition going on. Every student of law should know that there are people who are having like a very good CV, having very good background, and whole lot of competition is there. And people who do moot courts and they go for client counseling or some kind of conference, they know this fact that the competition is very huge. Because if someone goes and he never wins, he knows that what kind of competition is going on. And it doesn't matter from which law school you are. Like, I should clearly tell you this fact, that if you go to any law firm or to any of the top advocates of this country, trust me, college doesn't matter. So far as you have your personal capabilities to answer the questions which are being asked in the interview. At the same fact that where the college matters is when you are going from a college for the interview, or there is a PPO or post-placement or pre-placement offer is there, and the companies or some kind of big law firms are coming to the college and they are offering something, then no doubt it is totally done by the college. And Jindal, these days, Jindal Global Law School is doing an amazing job while giving opportunities to many of the law students. But how can a person from a local university, like a state university, state being recognized university, how he can get a big internship? That's like the toughest thing which people would ask today, I guess. And that is that, firstly, just go after your dreams. Don't think that I am in 5th year now, I cannot do anything. You cannot just say this and excuse your whole life for your dreams. Just start working in the 5th year. Just go to any advocate in the Supreme Court and just request them. Like many of the people, I gave once a lecture in Delhi. Then at that time, some people asked me, I never got a reply from the top advocates of this country. And I invited him on stage and I said that I will ask you 4 questions and you won't be able to answer any of them. And he was saying that I wish to work with Mr. Salve. And I asked, okay, so what is the office number of Mr. Salve? What is the email ID of Mr. Salve? What is how many associates are there? How many interns they take? What is the procedure which is usually done? Have you contacted anyone who has got internship there on merits, not by the basis of some kind of recommendation? So he was not able to answer that. So you can't blame the office or some kind of law firm if you are not aware that how you are supposed to get the internship. Secondly, I would say, like, if someone wishes to be a professor or a judge, I would recommend that they should do internships under, they can be flexible. They can sometimes work in a law firm, or they can sometimes work under some, go for a judicial clerkship for a year or something. And I would also say that the person who want to be a judge or who wishes to be a judge to try for Supreme Court and High Court internships. Now the question remains same, how they are going to be there. So for 1st or 2nd year, you work with a lawyer in Delhi High Court or in Supreme Court. Ask if he knows someone who can take him for a month or 2. And if no doubt he will say no. But if you keep on asking him, if you ask for favor, there are lawyers who are ready to help anytime. Like I have seen and I have met and I have gone through those people who have really helped me a lot in my career and have given me advices. It is not necessary that you teach your interns some of only the law advices. You can give real life advices as well. So I took some of them, and that is how I got the best internships, like under Mr. Bhushan, and I even worked with some good law firms I cannot name right now because I did something which was not which is not really appreciable by them now. But they are the tier 1 law firms, I must say. And secondly, the way in which you can contact a judge is just by calling the registrar. The registrar number is available online. You can just give a call and ask for a judge's personal secretary's email ID, and they will give you. And you can, and trust me, they will answer to that email. Like I have mailed them several times, and every time I have received a reply from the personal secretary of the judge, even a high court judge and all. And that is how you can take the first step. And for that, make sure your CV is suitable. Like you should have 4 or 5 moot court nationals, I would say, and 2 or 3 client counseling. There should be paper publication as well on some interesting topics you know about and you want to work upon. And going to the law firm is like another task. Like I won't say that you jump to the top law firm in the very first year. Try in any law firm. There are many law firms in the country. You can just go on the LinkedIn and you can start working with any of the persons. And trust me, many of them are those who have worked in big short law firms and have started their own law firm. So you can understand the psychic here. Okay. Like, just give me this answer. Like, how can someone who has no background or who has no much of the perspective can get a internship on his own in the first year? The question is itself a vague. There is no reason that they are going to give you internship. So the period which is told to Mahima that you are supposed to wait for 15 months for a tier 1 internship, that is also vague, because no one is going to wait for 15 months to get an internship, and that too, like, the law firm is not going to assure you any kind of job that you are getting this job, and that is why you have to go through this internship after 15 months. So what I would recommend is you should grab whatever you have. Everyone has his or her own time. Like, you can't say that that person got successful at the age of 21, why I am still like this at the age of 26. You have your own time. Maybe at 30 you be a big star, like famous and being published by every publication in the country which is related to law. So more than that, you need to identify, like, if you don't know what you are going to do in your life, that is the worst problem, I would say. So I guess some questions are here. If you can tell me, Harsh.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
Before, the most important question with every law student is how to start looking for an internship. You told us several ways that one can direct an advocate. They can ask them for the work. But is there a starting out looking for internship?
Okay, so suppose someone is in first year, I would say that he should go with the local sources which are available online, like what are the offices he wants to work with, and he should just identify the agendas of that law firm or the advocate who is practicing. Like if someone is interested in the social work and he wants to work in constitutional law or criminal law, he can just identify that I want to link with someone who is related to this field only, I would say. Though as a lawyer and as a startee, you should practice anywhere you have, like any field you get, any case you have, you should practice as a lawyer in the first or second year of your practice. But as an intern, what I would say is you start looking for your dream. Like if you want to be a top criminal lawyer in the country, why not to join a criminal advocate in the first year? If you want to be a corporate lawyer, if you have some interest in insolvency and bankruptcy court, then why not just look for someone who is into this, like who is the expert, and you just start a way, like make your own stairs, like how can you be with that particular person, and telling you like there are many sources available online, like some of them are even available in this but I would say your LawSikho's website. There are many recommendations, and even if there are many publication houses which are working, like the company similar working to LawSikho, they are also working, and they are also giving platforms like internship contact details and all, where you can just see if something matches you up. You can apply to every one of them, and you can apply them individually. Make sure you apply to them individually. And every decision you take, like it is very important, it is linked to your dream. Like if you want to be a judge, make sure you have your internships under a high court judge or a Supreme Court judge. And trust me, if you reach a pass, you reach like someone to a high court judge level or to a Supreme Court judge level, that is also going to help you when you are giving some kind of interviews before the Haryana Public Service Commission or before a panel of the high court judges who are recruiting you as a judge, as a judicial magistrate. And if you want to just go to the law firm the first year, I would say you can just ask your college seniors. Okay, that is the easiest way. Or you can just talk to the professors who are concerned, because like the professors have, every college has such alumni who are doing good. Okay, so you need to just contact them on LinkedIn, or just take the number from the from the professors in the college, and you can just get a recommendation from them. You can just ask them if he can take you, because the interns are not asking for something. They're not asking for money, like the normal stipend, which is usually given by lawyers in litigation. You know how the situations are going on, and in COVID, it's like worse right now. Like no one is getting stipends and all. So you just need to get into something. If you go somewhere, even if you go for a district court without working under some advocate, telling you, if you be in the sessions court, the judge is going to call you. Like, why are you sitting here and why are you observing me? And you can just say that, sir, I'm a law student and I'm looking for an internship, and he gets you. Like many of my friends have done this in the first year. They had no contacts, they had no recommendations. The teacher said that these things are done by the students themselves. And the student body said that you are in first year. Like we just had those who are in third year or fourth year and who are looking for the internships for the first time. So at these times, I would say you go to the Supreme Court directly or to the High Court, wherever you want to see yourself after 5 years or 3 years of law. Like if you want to be with someone in the Supreme Court, you go and you just see some lawyer standing there. You can just talk to him, have a coffee with him, just talk to him, and make sure that they are not busy, obviously. And I know some people who have talked to the top advocates of this country in Supreme Court after getting a pass from some other advocate. The entry pass from some other advocate they have taken, and they have met some senior advocates, and they have begged for internships, and they have been granted internships. Telling you, like, I guess there is an observer here who is sitting right now. He's in fourth year, and he has internships from 3 big lawyers in the Supreme Court, all having such a great practice. Like everyone has a dream to work with them, and he just begged them for internship in the Supreme Court, and he just told them that just take my name and you visit my office, and we are going to see if we can help you. And they have been given internships. That's like something which many people have followed. Though some people call these things, unethical, and this is something, but doesn't matter. If you're getting in there, like, it's fine. You are not doing anything immoral. You are just asking for some help. And as an intern, I believe like everything is excusable. Like few days ago, I read something on LinkedIn that some person was saying that people are texting me for internships and all. It's fine. Like, let people post like, you cannot text me. Just keep on texting. It's fine. Like, I would say it's totally fine to text someone on LinkedIn. And if he says no, that why are you texting me here? Go to my office, this and that. Just ignore that person and start looking for internship at some other place, I would say. It's fine. Because the top lawyers of this country are totally grounded people. They are those people who are ready to help. They are those people who are, ready to sacrifice anything. And like they have been mentioned even in the courts while arguing. Like I recognize that some lawyers have even recognized the work of an intern before a Supreme Court judge, that, my lord, this fact was found by my intern. And I'm really thankful to him that he has found this judgment and all by the Patna High Court, something at that point of time. And more important is you just never used to give up, I would say. If some lawyer says that you can't be an intern, you can't be my intern because your CV is not good, or I would say that you have not done particular moot courts, or previous internships are not good, or you have not published anything, or you don't have a recommendation, then don't worry, just say it's fine, sir, thank you. I will try somewhere else. Just make sure you say this fact that I will try somewhere else. It's fine. Getting rejected is totally cool. Like, I don't know why people think like it's some kind of shame or something. And I used to be like very open. If I have been, I remember a few years ago, I was rejected by a top law firm because of the fact that I was not from an NLU at that point of time. And I wrote this fact and it got published by some newspaper, and the same law firm, that was a tier 1 law firm, requested me to delete that post. So it's totally fine. If someone rejects you, it's totally okay to be rejected. And I can see there are some questions in the question box. Is there?
Yeah. So one of the questions which we have from Selma is, what are the skills required to do an internship in a top law firm?
See, trust me, the people who are recruiting in the top law firm, they don't go by the skills. Like, they have their own rounds, which, you can't write in your skills that you don't know computer, or you know Microsoft Word these days. They will ask you certain questions. Like, every law firm has their own view. Like, they have their own rounds, 3 rounds or 4 rounds. Like some law firms, I can't name them, like, but they are the tier 1 law firm. In the first round, they just have a interview by some of the partners, like 2 or 3 partners. And later on, they have the second round, which is the second round, they ask you about some of the questions related to the team. Like, if you are being selected for, and it's like some kind of hidden conversation they have, if they want to take you for some team. And the second round would be related to the team in which they are thinking that you can work in. And the third round is the HR round, where you are directly in conversation with the HR. And the HR usually talks about where are you from, what are you looking for in life, and certain normal questions. These are not questions. They will ask you like basic CPC or arbitration matters and leading judgment, of course. And they wish to know that what you have done, what kind of judgments have interested you. What is your opinion like in these days? Supreme Court's conduct with the Prashant Bhushan case is going on, which the judgment is waited for tomorrow. So they will ask you general questions. Like, there is no as such skill. Like, I cannot write it down that these are the skills, but it's usual. Like you should have good internships. And if you have a target firm, like if you want to be with this A firm, then you should have at least 2 internships under that firm, I would say. Or at least you should have a good recommendation. That's for sure. If you can manage. But if you don't have, then internship under someone, like if you have a target, like this law firm I want to work in, it has a very good package, like 15 lakhs or something, and I want to just be in that firm, then I would say just mail every partner, I would say. Like, there are hundreds of partners, mail every partner, mail HR, be in touch with the personal secretary of the HR. Just request them that, sir, I just want to prove myself. I just want to work with them, nothing else. If you get an internship, you will get a more broader view. Then you can contact those people in the same law firm. You can read their interviews, who have got a job, who got a PPO or something from the same law firm, to the students who have been their intern before. It's with every law firm. Every law firm has such people who have been their intern first. and later on they have got the job from the same law firm.
Okay. Associated question with this is from Selma itself, that where do the top law firms put main focus on? CV, what are the main skills required to add? You have already answered the skill part. What is that focus area in the CV? I think you have answered that also by saying that one should do internships.
No, I would focus on one fact, that once I was rejected by Mr. Prashant Bhushan for an internship, and I almost got an internship through mail, but I was interviewed by him, and he saw my objective. So since then I learned that objective is a very important part, because I wrote whatever was available online, like I want to work in a competitive environment, and I want to prove myself, and I want to do all those things which have been written online. I wrote the same in the CV. But later on, what Mr. Bhushan said to me was, this is not what I offer. This is something which you will not find in my office. And I was like, sir, I will get everything from your office. But he said, no, these are the things which you don't find in my office, and I can't take you. And that was the first time I got rejected from his office. At the same time, when I had already had an internship with Mr. Ram Jethmalani, and I had his recommendation as well with me. So objective is also very important. Skill, I won't say skill is important, but when you are writing about your previous internships, like you have worked in such and such law firm, what have you learned? That is also very important. Like if I have written, like in my CV, I have written that I have worked on the constitutionality of defamation. So it is very important that I know A to Z about the constitutionality of defamation, because that's a very broad topic. And that's what I'm going to be answered. Like I have given many interviews after my law school and all. So this was almost a question which was asked by almost every law firm where I have appeared. Secondly, I would also say that you focus more on the fact that your moot courts are done, because that is the way you can prove yourself that you have done something in the national moot courts. But if you have not done anything in the national moot courts and you want to prove yourself, there is no way. Either you just have one area, either have the best of internships or the best of moot courts or the best of client counselings or the best of conferences you have attended. But you need to have some strong area where you can present yourself. Like you enter a room, you can't just say, just look at my CV. You have to say, hello sir, I'm so-and-so, son of so-and-so and all. And more than that, the college does matter in this. Like if you are from a good college, no doubt the law firms are going to take you seriously. But if you have a strong area of internships, the previous internships, that's really going to help you.
So another question which we have from Rohan Shah is, so what would you say to final year law students who has scored average marks and has less internship in his CV? What he or she can do in his final year so as to make sure that he can end up getting a good job, or probably he wants to do masters?
Okay, so I would say if he wants to do masters from India or he wants to masters from abroad, like that's gonna be a different advice. But if supposedly he wants to do masters from India, I would say that he should prepare for CLAT instead. Like he should start preparing, before than other students. And if he's in final year, I think like after December only he should start preparing, because you have your own law school as well to manage. And internship point of view, if you want to, what's the background, like what have you done for 4 years, that will do suffer. But that's not true that if you have not done something for 4 years, you are going to fail in your life. That's not going to be the reality. So make sure you open your mind, start thinking about, be more open, start calling the law firms who have not replied to your email. Be more conscious of the fact that you be respectful when you call them. And if you want to be, in that arena, you can also go by LinkedIn as well, because there are many partners. And even in moot courts, I would say, if you go for moot courts or some conferences, there are many partners and associates of the big law firms. You can exchange the numbers, you can ask their email IDs, you can mail them specifically, and make sure you be so good with them, so respectful with them, that they take this off the course request, because this is not a right way to approach a person or a law firm. But this is a way, no doubt. You can just be at some place and you can just ask for some help. Like supposedly in Jessup moot court competition, many of the judges are the partners in some big short law firms. So if you are a participant in JESUP, you can just talk to judges after the rounds. You can go to the, if you are disqualified or if you are out of the competition, then only the judges are roaming around downstairs. You can just talk to them. Like nothing you require. There is no as such skill which is going to determine you like, this is the perfect way to be a, like this is a CV. There can't be a single CV that this CV is the only CV where you can get a job in such law firms. It's not true. The way is to just open your mind and think how are you going to go there. Like if it's going to be through LinkedIn, if it's going to be through their official website and you're going to mail them, or if it's going to be by calling them. And if still you don't have any recourse, just visit the law firm, I would say. Just visit the law firm, say I want to meet the HR, I want to talk to her or him. And the personal secretary will make you wait for like 4 or 5 hours, but you will meet, I would say. This is off the course way. Be very, very respectful, even if you are insulted there. And that's quite a big of a possibility, but you will know what is the right way to apply or reach to that particular position, I would say.
So the next question is with respect to internship. The question is, are interns paid well? Question mark. If not, what can a budding lawyer do to earn sufficient amount to maintain oneself?
Well, I would say no doubt that some offices don't pay well. But on the other hand, some offices used to pay very well amount. Some of the top lawyers of this country have paid 30,000 as stipend. And there is no stipend in top law firms, I would say, but you get to learn a lot. But as far as your background is concerned, I said in the starting, like, doesn't matter. Like in our profession in law, like the person who is from a rich background has succeeded, and a person who is from a very poor background, he has also succeeded. But what is the way to identify? Like if you just want, if the money is so required, like you need to, get a background check, like if you can go to that place or not, because the rents are also very high, and then you have your food expenses and all. Then I would recommend you start with the, the local internships, like the district court internships, and then to move to the concerned high court if you want to be a lawyer. And if you want to be with a law firm, then go to a nearby law firm. Like if someone is from North India, he should go to Delhi. If someone is from South, then Bangalore. And if someone is near to Bombay, then Bombay. Okay, you should not say like if you are from South and you directly move to Delhi, just because you have this money issues and all. And no doubt that students face these problems. Even I have been a person who has been going through all these things. When we were low on budget, our accounts used to be like on almost like 2,000 or 3,000 bucks, I would say. But we have all gone through that phase. And some way or the other, even someone has money, he has also, spent it somewhere, like on food or on traveling or on visiting places. But so far as a lawyer, your money is concerned to support the family. Even I was talking to Harsh few days ago. Then I told him this fact that if you have 1 lakh rupees in your account, then you can do well in profession. I have no doubt about it. You have to just go to the high court and you just need to make friends, because your friends are going to give you work. Okay, like there are matters like compromise quashing, then there are many FAOs matter and many matters like where you will appear for your friend, and they are going to pay you something, and that at least will take out your minimum expenses, I would say.
So the next question we have is from Nishit. Is it job or internship one need to apply of one in his last semester, and how? Very relevant question. Last semester में क्या करें? Internship के लिए apply करें या job के लिए करें?
Well, I would not recommend you do any internship in the last semester. Like if you are into last semester and you are about to just get as your license or something, then I won't recommend you go for any internship. But make sure you are ready to work with some person for free. If you have an agenda that you want to work with some person in the Supreme Court and you are getting that opportunity as an intern, then you can just go there and you can start, like after 5-6 days, you can just ask him if he can just get some associate work instead of an intern work, I would say. And if he doesn't and he just says that you have to, go out after a month or so, then I won't say you continue that platform. just start working with some other law firm, join something. There are many online jobs now as well, like the work which even LPOs used to do, it's now online as well on some platforms. So you can do that, you can earn from home, and at rest of the time you can just keep looking for jobs. Because I don't think if someone is looking for job in Delhi, he won't get at least some job. He will get some job under some advocate. I'm totally sure about it. You can just go to a Delhi High Court, you can take the directory, you can contact some lawyers. If you have some known people, you can just go and sit with them, you can have coffee. They will recommend you, like it's very normal. And these days, like some people I know wanted to join some lawyer in Delhi. I told them that for first month, you should just see and observe people. Like make a list that you want to work with these 20 people, and you just start observing them, like from looking at the cause list where they have their own cases. Like if you're looking for some specific advocate, I want to search for him, if I can work under him, then search his name in the cause list, like on Monday, tomorrow, which cases are there for him in the Delhi High Court. Then you can just search and you can go in the same number and you can observe his arguments. And if you like it, just go for it. If you don't, then I won't recommend you to just go by someone else's choice. If you are not under compulsion, just look out and just, I am definitely sure if someone goes to the court, he will get some work. It's not gonna be, you have a law degree, you are never gonna run out of money. I would say that for sure, you will get something.
So the next question is, will the internship candidate be paid an amount during the internship by the lawyer or law firms? Please clarify me whether law firms engage the law graduate or postgraduate who are not in possession of law field experience.
Yeah, they do. Like if you know someone, like I have a very close friend who is in a good law firm. She often tells me, like, if you want to come, you can come any day. Like it depends upon what you have done. Like if you are not that good, if you are not something you have, see, real life experience in courts are totally different. Okay, in moot courts, your attitude is different, and the prospect for which the moot courts are made, like for learning and to know the question of law, it's totally different from what is being done in real life. So if you have done, if you have got some experience and then you are being engaged by a law firm, in law firms, the salary is totally different. Like, let me clarify. When you are making a switch from one law firm to another law firm and you are not taken through a particular straight direct route, then your salary is going to differ. Someone is going to earn 10 lakhs and it is possible that you may be working in 8 lakhs for the same position, for the same work. That is possible. But I would recommend that you should not look for paid work into litigation in the starting years. Rather, you should look for more work, because if you are getting more work, your skills are being developed, and then you can look for some other office which pays, or you can start your own practice, I would say. About the paid, about the paid internships, there are only few law firms and few lawyers who pay you. Others are only of the view like 6,000-10,000 is sufficient, and almost 70% of the law firms or the lawyers don't pay. But there are lawyers and there are law firms which pay, and there are lawyers who pay like 25,000 as well as a stipend. So it depends where you are.
So the next question is correlated to this, that is it advisable to look to work with public prosecutor?
Yeah, why not with a public prosecutor? Like I would say, though public prosecutors don't know their role, particularly when they are in courts these days, but like majorly. But if you have an option to work with a public prosecutor in the starting years of your law school, like I would say, you can go with the public prosecutor, because at least he will have a lot of, recommendations he can give you. Like he has, like, make sure if you're working with the public prosecutor, he will have such recommendations that you can directly be in high court under a top advocate. That I'm telling you. The way I won't tell you at this stage, but you will understand when you work with the public prosecutor. Look for CBI prosecutors, look for standing counsels. In high court and in Supreme Court, if you go for 1 month or 15 days or 10 days without any, work, or without any senior you have, or some, resource you have, like you're just going to visit it, because the Supreme Court pass also allows law students in Supreme Court, except on miscellaneous days. Then you will find yourself, like, this lawyer was good. You sit in any court, you just observe. You will yourself realize that this lawyer was good, I should talk to him. Just talk to him. But what is the worst he's going to say? Just talk to my office. That's what he's going to say. It's fine. Talk to his office. Or otherwise, if he says like, I am not into interns, look for some other person. 1 time, 2 time, 10 time, you are going to fail. But there will be time when you are going to succeed. You are going to get the job. I'm telling you, like, it's definitely going to happen.
So the next question is that from Akash, and he's asking, I'm already having 2 years of experience, but interested in judiciary. What you will suggest me?
Well, if you are interested in judiciary, I would say that why not to look for a judicial clerkship in High Court, because the clerkship in Supreme Court, it's quite difficult. First, and secondly, they have a lot of work. But in High Court, the clerkship is quite easy and you can prepare for your judiciary as well. For Supreme Court clerkship, only 1% of the total jobs are being reserved. Like in the Supreme Court, the judges have power to make out their own judicial clerks, as well as they have their own common exam for the judicial clerkship. So if you have a recommendation or you have worked with a Supreme Court judge before as an intern, then you can definitely use your recommendation and you can seek the direct recommendation thing, and you can directly work with the Supreme Court without giving the exam. But if you are working in Delhi High Court or in some High Court, you want to be an intern there or be a law clerk there, then again you need to apply through a particular format. It's, I guess, through the registrar in my High Court, and maybe that separate High Courts have their own resource. You need to just apply and wait for the call. Otherwise, it's basically through recommendation only, because the judges only take those people who they trust. Because that is why the judges have been given this power to take their own employees, because to maintain the confidentiality in the matters, and in separate sectors, they have their own things to manage. So the way is little different from the normal course. But if you want to be into judiciary, I would say just be a law clerk for 1 year or 1.5 years or 2 years, because the salary is also 35,000 or 40,000, and in Supreme Court 50,000 and 55,000. And later on, you can side by side give your examinations, and the judge is going to give you room, because the judges are quite good with the law clerks and they give proper time as well, and they are very less into disturbing. Then you have also access to the judges library in the Supreme Court as well as in the High Court. So that's very beneficial if you go for a judicial clerkship.
And those libraries are very well maintained.
Thank you.
So the another question is from Sarah, and the question is, how do I approach searching for internship as a second-year student with no moot court experience and with no publications?
Well, Sarah, I don't know where you are from or which law school you are from, but I would say you just need to talk to the professors who are very chilled up in the law school. Don't go to the professors who don't, answer properly, or who don't want our help in these regards. You just need to talk to that professor and ask them if they can, ask some college alumni or some persons who are linked with him and take you for internship. Like, it depends upon your dream, where you want to work. You want to work in Delhi or Bombay or wherever you are from, or then you are gonna ask the professor, or if you're not getting it through mails, you just talk to the professor, go with and work with any alumni. And trust me, working with alumni don't give you name, but they definitely teaches you a lot of work. Definitely, like, working with alumni, they don't pay you much. They don't, give you a lot of money or some kind of recommendations. But working with them, you are going to learn a lot. No doubt about it.
So the next question is from Gauranshi. How can I start my own practice without any legal background? How many years should I practice under someone else? Also, how can I familiarize my area of practice? The first part I remember, so you told me a few days back how to start your own practice without any legal background. And the question is the same.
Well, that is really very tough, I would say. Like, I just talked to, when I was invited for the panelist, I talked to Harsh on phone, and I told him that it is really difficult. Like my dad is a trial court advocate, and I moved from doing juniorship in Supreme Court to my Punjab and Haryana High Court. And I had no friends, like few of the friends were my classmates and some seniors. So I knew them, what I used to do in court. Like, I moved to Punjab and Haryana High Court, what I'm doing in court, like nothing. I used to just go there. I used to meet my friends. I used to just see the courtrooms, see the judges. There are some judges who are like the most respected. I used to visit their courts. Then I used to have coffee with lots of advocates who are my friends. And by that way, when I start getting work, I used to take the format from one person. I used to spend 15 days on making a petition. And I realized that I had no place to sit. Like in high courts, there are chambers and bar rooms which are very costly, or either you don't even have an opportunity to grab them. So what I did, I asked some of the persons who are related to me, I asked them where I'm going to get this. So it took me almost like 5 months to get a seat, like just a normal seat to sit. And then I wanted to have a lunch table. It took me almost like 6 months to, next 6 months to get a lunch table where I can have my lunch. So this is how, like, you can't just go and have all these things unless and until you have a law background. And working without being under someone is, like, I would say, not a good idea, because it's totally different from what you have learned from law school. Like the relief you are going to get from a court or from the concerned court, because each court has their own, viewpoint on a particular problem. So it's very difficult to, just start your own practice and be good. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but it's really difficult. So where you want to practice, you just need to work under a senior. The time doesn't matter. Like people who have worked for 6-7 months, they have also succeeded. The persons who have worked for 5 years, they are also still working and they are earning. It depends upon the office, I would say. If you're working in a top office, then you can work for long for that person because you are getting very high salaries, and then you are on the, verge of assisting fees as well. Like you are getting assisting fees for that particular senior counsel and you are earning well. But so far as I would say your personal practice is concerned, if you are sure that you can have your own cases, at least you have 25 briefs, I would say, before you start your own practice. If you have 25-30 briefs, then you can start your own practice and you have 1 lakh in your bank account. You can go for it, you will succeed. But if you don't have any case and you are just directly going to court, jumping, thinking about not working under someone, that's, I would say, is like little different and difficult than other of the, areas which is left over and you can grab them.
The other question is, how can a second year BLS LLB student apply for an internship at a top law firm? Also, there's an associated question from another person, Vedant. Where should I do my internship if I aim to become a corporate lawyer?
Okay, so if you're not getting in second year, if you're not getting an internship in the top tier 1 law firm, then you can at least look for tier 2 or tier 3 law firm, I would say. And from that law firm, I don't know why people have these problems, because when I worked in a tier 2 law firm, I asked the partner that I want to work in that law firm, sir. If you have any of the friends, then please recommend me. And he recommended me, and that is how I reached the top tier 1 law firm, I would say. That is the easiest way. No mail, no phone, nothing. Like the partner will do everything for himself. But make sure you are very grateful to him. Make sure you are very respectful to him. Make sure you have done something for him, like the work, and you have been, like, I was given translation works at that point of time. I was very good with translation then. And if you are in second year, I don't think you should just confine it unless you are in 3-year law firm. If you are in 5-year law firm, second year is nothing. You can just go at every place you get. Talk to the partners, be friendly with everyone, and be respectful. Just do your work properly. It's sufficient. Doesn't matter. And start working and looking for moot courts, because that's going to widen you're going to see like how much competition is there to reach the tier 1 law firm. And still, if you don't get into the tier 1 law firm, I would say you just visit the tier 1 law firm with your CV and just say that, ma'am, I wish to really work under you or work under him, or whatever the case whatever the case is. And you just talk to the HR that, can I be given 10 days internship or 15 days internship, because that can later be extended. Once you have reached that position, to reach there again, it's very easy. You will make friends. If you have a specific law firm in mind, then start looking for the partners. Like on the website, the partner details are there. You start mailing them individually, I would say. And that is though off the course. Like, people should not use these ways unless and until they have gone or exhausted all the other ways. But this is a way. No doubt, if a partner thinks that you are consistently, into him and you want to just work under him, then I won't say that you should not try this way. Try this way as well. I know you will get an internship.
So another question is from Priyanka, and she's asking, how can someone having no law background but inclines towards criminal practice get into a good law firm? Also, how can he or she utilize lockdown duration to optimum level apart from reading one judgment? What are the skills one can develop?
I think you are not audible. Harsh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Are you getting my voice?
Yeah, please repeat. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. So the question is from Priyanka. She is, how can someone having no law background but inclined towards pursuing criminal practice get into a good law firm? Also, the question goes on and is relevant to most of the people, that how can he or she utilize lockdown period to enhance skills?
Okay, I would answer this. Okay, so if someone wants to be a top criminal lawyer, okay, like that's I won't say you should confine it right now to the criminal lawyers practice like these days. Like, like if suppose someone asks a person, like, what do you want to be? The best answer is to just tell what he wants to be in 1 or 2 years. Okay, what he expects. Okay, like if someone asks a second year law student that what do you want to be in few years or what you want to do in life, then the answer should be that I'm looking for a internship in a tier 1 law firm. I'm looking for to win 2 or 3 national moot courts. I wish to write 2 or 3 papers in some good publications. The answer should not be I want to be the Chief Justice of this country. Like, that's really vague, because the way of success is like very confined. Like, you have to find your own way. It can't be like if you just love criminal law, doesn't mean that you are gonna be into criminal law from the very first day. It's about your skills and the specialization which is being declared on a person. Like, suppose Mr. A is the top lawyer in criminal law, and Mr. B is the top lawyer in civil law, and Mr. C is the top lawyer in services law. That is not determined by the advocate himself, but that is determined by the public and the clients who are approaching him for help in those cases. It's never by the advocate himself that I am the top advocate of this country in criminal law, please approach me. It is by the clients and by the general public that this is the criminal lawyers and best criminal lawyer. And there are no one best lawyer in the country. Okay, like, don't think that if you have not achieved Mr. A, you can't be a criminal lawyer now. There are always number of top lawyers in this country. This has been since like past. This thing has been like there are number of top advocates in this country. It's never been like there is only one top criminal lawyer in this country. Okay, so coming back to the question, like if she wants to be a criminal lawyer, I won't suggest her to work under some law firm, because there are very few law firms only which practices criminal law, and none of the top tier 1 law firms, I would say, is into the professional criminal practice. Some partners are there, but the practicing area of the top law firm is not into this area, the criminal law. So chamber practice is more efficient and more helpful if you want to be a criminal lawyer. And if she's a girl, if he's a guy, and I would recommend to go for the same thing. Like, you should join some top lady lawyer in the district court or in the high court. Make sure if you want to be a criminal lawyer, you know the basics and you practice in the trial court for like 6 months or so. And if you're aware of the criminal practice, you can just directly approach the high court and you can just start practicing in high court and in Supreme Court. But make sure you have handled 2, 3 or 4 cases like on your own in the criminal trial, because that's going to help you like throughout your life.
So you have answered all the questions which have been raised till now. Getting back again to one of the point which we were to discuss is, why is it important to identify a mentor? How does it help someone in their growth?
Well, identifying the mentor is like the same thing which, 𝘭𝘰𝘆𝑵 did. Like 𝘭𝘰𝘆𝑵 wanted to be a student of Dronacharya, but he couldn't. And, that is one of the ways he made his, some kind of portrait or so. And then he started practicing archery. And that is the same role which someone plays. Getting into someone, like knowing him, how he has succeeded in his life. And that is why I've been saying, like, if you like the background you have, suppose you have no law background, you have a business background, or you have a public servant's background, and look for those people who have been from the same background, maybe from the same area if it is possible. Okay, because there are very, very few advocates who have been to top and they have not been yet recognized. Like there are many Supreme Court judges right now as well who have no legal background. But if I say about Justice Suryakant right now, Justice Suryakant of the Supreme Court was from no law background, but he was the youngest Advocate General of Punjab and Haryana High Court. And he is the youngest judge at that point of time of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So you need to identify, like, how can you relate your story to the mentor? It is very important. Like, you can't be just like Mr. So-and-so of the top lawyer, who is the top lawyer is my mentor. You need to connect with him. You need to be emotionally attached about it. Why you are making him a mentor? What are those views which are being so influential in your mind that that is why I'm making him a mentor? Mentor is a very, very connected place to your heart. Okay, like if there is no mentor, the mentor will be under whom you're working, and you can change that person. But if you are thinking about someone big and you want to be someone big in your life, you need to be with someone who has been at that position, I would say, who has seen that struggle, who has done that struggle. Because in litigation, even in law firm, like later on, like if you are an associate, if you get selected as an associate and you're working there for like 5 years, 10 years, what's going to be your next dream? The dream is going to be that you want to be a partner in the law firm. And for that, you will again need clients. To be a partner in a law firm, you need to buy the equity, then you will get, all the benefits which other partners get, which is again not easy. So making partner is very, very, you should not, think about it like from the very beginning that this person is my partner. Again, think about for short-term goals. Like if I am 25 or 26, like what should be my next goal? Maybe to clear the advocate on record exams in the Supreme Court. Or it can be to at least have 100 filings in the next year or 200 filings in the next year. Or if someone is into social work, then at least to do 10 cases for free. So that is how your mentorships is made. Like if someone has pure interest in criminal law, his mentor can be Mr. Luthra in the Supreme Court, in the Delhi High Court. He is very famous in criminal law. So, but how he can make him the mentor? By entering his office, by working under him, by assisting him in various matters, by learning what he actually does. Because the public images doesn't tell you the reality about the mentors, what they have done in mind. And read books, I would say. There are many top books by the top lawyers. You should go through all of them. Like just start reading it on a daily basis and never buy 2 books. Just finish one, then go to the next book. Otherwise, you will keep on buying and you won't be reading. And what about how to connect with mentors is like, you just need to identify what are your goals. Again, if you want to be into a law firm and such law firm, then you have an option of ATP, that is the alternate training program you have for 18 months. In top law firms, you have ATP. They will make you work in litigation. They will make you work in some other, corporate sector or in some other, there are various platforms where you are supposed to work. But make sure you identify someone in life. Like before 30, you should have a mentor.
So we have received another question. And how can we optimize this time of lockdown for building our CV?
Well, totally depends what kind of CV you want to make. Like right now, moot courts are coming. Some of the moot courts are going virtually, which is very cheap as well. Like there is no expense. And you can prepare for those moot courts. You can develop your researching skills. And if you want to, all those certificates which you think, the small courses you do for 1 month or something, and they are going to add in your CV, that's not going to help you. You can do some courses from IGNOU or so, some evening courses. You can learn some languages, just make out the hobby out of it, because lockdown is really troubling people. Okay, so building a CV in the lockdown, it's gonna be like really gonna be a tough question. But whatever opportunity you are getting, you should adopt it. Like do online internships, do moot courts, and if you have opportunity to do some courses like 5 or 6 months course at least, don't go for those courses for which you have to pay 7,000-8,000 and it's just a 20 days course. That's not going to help you. That's just like something you can just write on the CV, but that's not going to help you. And another thing I wish to tell you is that right now you can do a lot for a judge. So if you are sitting at home, you can apply for judicial clerkship right now, or you can look to work with the public prosecutor right now, because they are going daily in courts in the district level. The district court is almost in 90% of the country is still working physically on just for opposing bails. So working with the prosecutor is also a good choice, because if you work under him, the district attorney or something, and then you get to know some of the good prospects about opposing bails right now, because only bails are going on throughout the country, and opposing bail is also a very important trick you can learn if you are into criminal law. If you're into civil law, then things are not going right now, so you can adopt for some kind of course or read constitutional books. Right now the controversies are there, you can write something about it.
So coming to the last part of this entire session, the last question which I have for you is how to get jobs from an internship?
Well, that depends. Like if you have been a good intern, if you have worked something for your partner or the associate you were linked with, you can definitely ask him that, sir, I really like it here and I wish to work under you or with you. And then you have the whole process to follow, like 3 or 4 rounds are there. Then you have to go through them. Though the structure also provides almost like 10 or 15% of the people only get the job, but you have to be extra smart. Your CV should be like in competition with the people who they actually recruit. And it is very important that you focus on all the points which they are looking for, because the tier 1 law firms are not looking for the person who can just be good in arbitration or in insolvency laws. But if you have worked under someone, I know some people who are working in the tier 1 law firm, they have just asked the partner that, sir, I wish to work under you, and if I'm given the opportunity, I will be very grateful to you. Before you say all these things, make sure you have at least worked twice under that person. You cannot just work for 1 month. You have to work twice, because in that 6 months span, when you are into your law school, it is very important you can communicate to him regularly, ask about cases and how things are going on in the office. And if after such days, if things go right and you are getting that vibes that you can say at least these things, say it definitely. But if you have this in mind that a positive response can come, you should not think twice and you can just directly say it. The selection chances are 15 to 20%, but still there are. I know many people who have got jobs in the top law firm from this.
That's all, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for joining here with us and answering these questions on how to get the best of internship and jobs.
I'm so grateful, and it's like I'm really thankful to LawSikho, because this was really something which people don't know. They just blindly mail and they don't get reply. They get frustrated. They think that I'm not good enough, but that is not true. Again, I said that the waiting period which law firms or a lawyer usually send is by the clerk himself or some kind of personal secretary or the person who is not even having a law degree maybe. So don't get into too emotional that I never got there. It's fine. Go with some other lawyer. Like if someone denies you internship, that's good for you, because you can say no to that person. The dangerous are those persons who don't reply. So make sure you contact them. You tell them that I applied on this ID. I remember a junior of mine in college. I don't know if he is seeing it right now or not. He's in 4th year and he has called some senior advocates at their house number as well. And some of the employee, the household employee has picked the call and asked for an email ID just to apply to a law office. Otherwise, the official ID, no one was responding. So he was selected at that internship. It was under a big shot lawyer in Delhi. And when he went there, everyone knew him because he has used a resource which normally people don't. And that was really appreciated, that he has gone so far to get that internship. And with that, I'm really thankful for LawSikho to invite me at this platform, and all the best to everyone who has seen this. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.